99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. This is the Morning X. Fram, I mentioned I wanted to get our expert on, our etiquette expert, because when Jimmy was on last, we talked about graduation pandering.
Yes.
Now, that's my term. That's not, in the whatever books. Because I feel like sometimes borderline is.
I'm always questioning when I get a graduation invitation, which I love to get, but from people I haven't talked to in over 10 years.
Or ever.
Like, oh, wow, where are they now?
Right.
Well, no, ever, but I met maybe somebody I knew, but I haven't honestly talked to in over 10 years.
It's almost
You're on
like
their list. You're on the list.
It's graduation poker. So, right before my daughter graduated at Eckerd this year, I got an invite from a buddy who I never see his children. I have no relationship with his children.
But he's your friend.
And Maddie did not send one to him. So I was almost like, Maddie, quick, blast one out there to him. But so we have Allison from Elevate Etiquette, who is our official Morning X etiquette coach. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so polite. I love when you're on the show. So she is Elevate Etiquette on social media. So it's not just us. I think a lot of people are wondering, what is the protocol for these invites or these graduation pandering mailings?
Okay, so there's a difference between graduation invitations and graduation announcements. So if you receive an announcement, which is when you're just learning that someone is graduating, but you're not necessarily being invited to a ceremony or to a party, in that instance, you don't need to feel obliged to send a gift.
Oh, so that's just an announcement, not an invite.
I did not.
Yes.
I thought that was the subtle cash grab.
Me too.
I did not know this.
Yes, so you can think of it sort of like a holiday card. And generally speaking, when you're sending an announcement, it's best to send it after the actual graduation. So then there's no confusion as to whether you're being invited to the ceremony because the ceremony has already passed. And traditionally, the people we want to be sending these announcements to are like the people who are on your holiday card list if you're in a habit of sending a holiday card out to people, but it would be the people that your child or the graduate actually knows. So if the graduate doesn't have a relationship with someone, then you shouldn't be sending them a graduation announcement.
Barnes, you can send out now that the graduation is over. You can send out the card.
So wait a minute. So if you just get somewhere on there it says like graduation announcement, or I'm letting you know, if there's no actual invite to come, you're not on the hook for a gift.
No, you're definitely not. If you would like to send something, you certainly can. It's just like if you know someone's getting married and you're not invited to the wedding, there's no rule that says you can't send your good wishes or send a gift, but you don't need to feel obligated.
Wow.
Yes, but if you're invited to an actual event, like if you're invited to the graduation ceremony or a party, then you are, so to speak, on the hook. You do want to be sending something.
Okay, hold on. So the first one, the announcement, isn't that just the passive-aggressive request for a gift? Let's be honest. I know you're polite, and I know you're Allison at Elevate Etiquette, but why send it?
I think people send it to share the good news. It can be a keepsake, especially if there's a picture of the graduate. I would think of it really like a holiday card. I wouldn't think of it as something where you need to be sending in a gift.
I need to go dig that one out of the trash and make sure that it didn't have an invite to the actual event. I'm kidding. But so when you get the invite, that also is more of a bold, okay, if they live across the country and they send you an invite to come to it, now
that's your invitation to send a gift or cash.
Your invitation to, or you're basically like, now you're like, put baby in the corner. Now you have to send something.
Allison?
So it's not ideal to be sending an invitation to someone who's halfway across the country when you realize that it's not necessarily feasible. So then I would say we have a little wiggle room to perhaps not send a super luxurious gift. You could send a note or something like that. Like basically, if you think that it's really out of bounds or doesn't make sense that you're receiving an invitation and it does feel like a grab for gifts, then I don't think you need to be extra generous, but maybe send a note or text message or just acknowledge that you received it and send your good wishes.
So let's say you're really good friends with the person or lifelong friends, but you didn't really have a relationship with the children. I think I always feel obligated to send money.
I can understand why you would think that. And I think it would all come down to sort of your relationship to the family, because oftentimes graduation parties, they are multi-generational events. And so there are certainly instances where it can be appropriate to invite friends that don't know the child so well, but it should really be people that are close family friends, not people that have no connection with the child at all.
Barnes, you didn't send me an invitation to Maddie's graduation. I would have sent something.
I feel horrible blasting that stuff out to people because I feel like it puts you on the spot to have to do that. You notice I waited until I was there, and you're like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at Maddie's graduation.
I know. I was like, I didn't know anything about it. I would have sent. I still will send something.
But you don't interact with Maddie, and that's my point.
That's true, but you and I work together. We're friends. We've known each other forever.
But to Allison's point, we do, but that doesn't make it where I think you should send a gift because you and I work together. You have, I mean, how many times have you seen Maddie in the same room?
Well, I'll say this. You're not like most people.
Well,
because I get these graduation invitations like monthly.
Well, we all know that, Fram, that I'm not like most people, but sometimes. Allison, you have really opened my eyes to the situation, and I bet a lot of people listening also, I really need to go back and review this latest one I got because the guy, dear friend, but the son, no interaction. As a matter of fact, the one time I was in the home with the guy who lives far away, the dude just like walked past. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, and just peace out. And so then you're like, oh, interesting. Here's an invite.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, wow.
So,
this is interesting.
Yes. And you bring up a good point that when it comes to graduation parties, it's a good opportunity to prepare the graduate to mix and mingle with people of different generations and not to just hang out with all of their friends who are graduating and to say hello to the adults that are there too.
I try to do that when my girls are here and adults come. I'm like, stand up, shake their hand, look them in the eye, ask them something.
Put your phone down.
Right. Put your phone, slap that thing down.
This has really opened my eyes because I didn't know the difference between the announcement and then there's the invite. Thank you, Allison.
Yes, Allison, thank you so much.
Wow.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I love your content. It's Elevate Etiquette on Instagram and Facebook, right?
Yes.
Yep, and this is Allison. Thank you very much for coming on with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Have a great day. We're so polite here. We are the Morning X. This is 99X.